Hello, it is I, your angelic goddess, Spooky Daria, and I'm here to pray on Sunday. Hello, how are we doing? Hey Spaghetti, gay to you, happy gay to you. How are we doing today in this fine Sunday? Is it Sunday? Yes, it is. Today we have, I'm kind of excited. We're gonna have some very nice Metroid gaming. It has been a while. When was the last time I played Metroid? I think when I played on stream. I think it was when I played, what's the name? Samus Returns. Yeah, the remake, the 3DS remake. That was the last time. And it has been some months since that. I'm very excited. I played pretty much all of the what's the word? All of the 3D, the Prime series, I played it in full. I'm only missing Prime Hunters, but from what I know, that game is a bit weird. It's more of a multiplayer game than a game where you focus on the story mostly. So, Eva Cabrozzo, hope you had a good time. It was a nice sleep. Yeah, so yep, I'm not even sure if I am going to play that. Kinda curious. But I did play every single other Metroid, save from that one, and there is another 3DS one that was not that appreciated from what I know. It should be the one that has Federation Force or something like that. I think it's the name. Nothing crazy, nothing interesting from what I know. It's, you don't even use Samus in that one. It's like a co-op game where you use this soldier from the Federation and do stuff. I don't know. I not played it. I've seen people play badly about it. So yeah, you're gaming with Dusty. Hope you're having a good time together. Yeah. So basically, this is the only important Metroid that I'm missing. I played every single one, every single other one, even if I never finished Fusion myself. So I think that after I finish this game, it could be a good idea to replay Fusion and this time actually finish it. I already know how the game goes. I had to stop playing because I was stuck in a part after a boss and I had no idea where to go. So that was very hard for me. Hopefully I'll be able to play it again. Hopefully. Yeah, but yeah. Played Dread. Technically I'm missing Metroid Prime 4, which I won't get at launch. So I'll have to wait for a while to play that one. But I did play Dread. Dread was actually very fun. Dread was a wonderful game. I had a lot of problems with Dread when it came to... There is a specific part of the game after you obtain, I think it's the grapple beam. And after that point, I started getting lost. It's before you get the ability to, what's the name? The ability to move quickly underwater and to extinguish the fires and the triple beam. Yeah, the part right before that one. It was a struggle for me. Yep. But I did have a good time with it. And I think what happens at the end of the game is my favorite part of any Metroid game, save from the boss fights from Samus Returns. Because I really like Samus sketching the evolved Metroid to the ground with all her strength. That is quite unique. If you remember, I talked about it when we were playing. I was so excited. Yeah, Samus can sketch me like that. I would be very much happy, I think. But yeah, I did play every other one. I also really like Zero Mission, but there is not really a bad Metroid game, I think. The only problem, this is super specific, mostly to the Prime games. The Prime games have this weird obsession, all three of them, with before you reach the final part of the game, you need to do backtracking to grab the keys if you have not collected them before. Yeah, it's a constant. Every single one of them has this problem with the collect these keys and then come back to us. Yeah, some sort of forced backtracking. I really hoped that when I played the Prime 3 that it wasn't the case anymore, but it's still there. It's less than the other two, especially I think 2 is the most tedious, but 2 is also the one I like the least, which doesn't mean much because I like them all. 2 is simply the one I like the least of the 3. And my favorite, I don't know. I don't know if I have a favorite. I like 1 and 3 pretty much equally. The very good thing that 3 does is it combines the beams. Every time you obtain a new beam, you don't have to change between them, and you just, you know, have them all on the same attack, which is very cool. Also, the final beam you get is green, and your gun stays green once you get that one, so I'm very happy. In general, 3, even if I think 3 is the shortest, I think it's a very, very good one. Oh no, I heard some people say that 3 was the weakest one, but I really disagree. I really, really disagree. 2, I think. Simply because it's tedious to move around. Moving around in Metroid Prime 2 is very tedious because you have those 2 planets and you constantly need to move back and forth between them. And it was not that big of fun. Also, I just remembered something that I did not activate. Thank you very much. Yep. I am quite sad, and I hope that with Metroid Prime 4 they finally let go of this tradition of having you do backtracking. But knowing Nintendo, I don't think they will do that. I think Prime 4 will have backtracking as well, because that's just how the Prime games are. I wish I could say that I'm confident about change in the future, but I don't know. If they would have changed that, they would have probably done that in 3. Even if, 3 was supposed to be a trilogy, so... Not sure. We will see. I expect it to be still full of backtracking at the end. We will see. I don't think any of the 2D Metroid games have backtracking. It does the normal amount. When you get a new power, you can go back. But it doesn't have a part of the game where you just have to collect the keys, go to this location at the end of the game. I mean, you can start doing that earlier, but if you don't know that you're gonna need them, you don't do it. Especially when you play Prime 1, you don't know that you're gonna need all the keys. So when you go to the temple at the end, the game hits you with the, hey, have you collected the keys? Well, how many of them? Like 9 or maybe even more? If you haven't collected them all, go back in every single level and get them. You lazy Samus. You want to kill Metroid Prime? Well, no. You go kill some boring enemies while you retrieve the keys instead. Yeah. It's a bit sad, but hope for the future. I guess. But yeah, since now we're talking about the future, we're actually going back in the past to get a beautiful Super Metroid. I know that this game is like the most beloved game of them all. It's like a lot of people's favorite game when they talk about retro gaming, or even in general. This is a very, very beloved game for a lot of people, and I am very curious. I know that it's old. This is, I think, a SNES game, SNES game, maybe more recent than that, but yeah, I already played, we already played some retro gaming. We played Castlevania 4 and we overcome that. It wasn't even that frustrating at the end, it was just a bit hard. So I just have to get used again to the roughness of playing an old game, but it's gonna be fine. I played older games. I played the original Zelda. That game was the most frustrating experience I've ever had, I think. Playing the original Zelda was very, very, very hard to complete. But I never used a guide. I think I talked about it in the past, right? I drew a map. Since I didn't have the physical edition of the game available to me, I drew a map on my notebook here thing. Because without that, you just get lost all the time in that game. Really, you cannot play that game without a map. You need to know where you're going at all times. You need to know what's where in the map. Absolutely. It was fun. The only time I used a guide, very, very specifically, was in the last dungeon. I used a guide for the last dungeon because I was losing my mind completely. And other than that, I was fine for the rest of the game. Took me a long time, but I was pretty much fine. Yep. Yep. Yeah, but I think overall, it was a nice experience that I would not like to repeat. I mean, if you know what to do, I think it's very fun to replay the game, to speedrun it or whatever. Yeah, so could be. Nothing could be worse than that, I think. Let's play some Metroid, Super Metroid, Metroid 3, or how you want to call it. So I did a thing. So I hope that it will work. Can I? Need to stop the music. Go here. This game has a very short introduction when you open it. So let me show it to you. It repeats when you exit this menu. So let's see the introduction. 1994, which is the year the game was published, no? It has been a while. I was not born yet in 1994. Small spoiler about my age. Metroid 3. And this is the main menu. Just a Metroid in a laboratory. We have, if you remember the plot of Metroid 2, Samus goes to the Metroid planet, native planet, and it just eradicates all of them except for the small one. So I suspect, since it should be canon, the remake as much as it was the original, that in this game we have the small Metroid friend with us. Either with us or like we will see it at some point during the plot. Because I think in Fusion you don't see it. I don't remember it from the start of Fusion. I might be wrong. But it certainly is not in Red. So something happens to it, which I'm very scared of. Or maybe it just goes away. We will see. I expect to see it soon. Samus. German text, French text. Is there something I want? Do I want this? Moonwalk? I'm not sure. I think we can come back. Controller setting. Yeah, there are not many buttons to choose from. Item select, yeah. Let's go. I don't want German text or French text. Thank you very much. Last Metroid is in
captivity.
Why does it have German subtitles?
Is at peace.
I messed up something. Why do we have German subtitles? Do you mind if I restart the game just so we don't have German subtitles? Sorry about that. I don't know why we would even have German subtitles. Give me a second. You want German subtitles? Wait, you cannot choose? You need to have either German text or French text? Let me do a very quick research about this. It was not something I expected. You can turn off subtitles. What? Okay, so we're gonna keep our German text, apparently. It says here that it's only at the beginning of the game, so it's the European version, so
The last Metroid is in captivity.
voice acting in my
The
SNES
galaxy
game.
is at peace.
Maybe it was not that rare. I was not, I never lived that era, so. First spotted the Metroid on planet Zipis. It was then that I foiled the plans of the space pirates leader, Mother Brain, to use the creatures to attack galactic civilization. Is the audio fine? You like the German subtitles, Dusty? It was made for you. The audio is buzzing a tiny bit. I don't know what to take of it. The next spotted Metroids on their homeworld, SR388. I completely eradicated them except for a larva, which after hatching followed me, like a confused child. Mommy Samus. Yeah, we remember this. Of course, it wasn't in this graphic, but the canon is this one, so. And it helped us defeat Ridley. Person delivered to the Galactic Research Station Ceres. Scientists could study its energy producing qualities. So it's not with you anymore. But your mommy. Scientists' findings were astounding. They discovered that the powers of the Metroid might be harnessed for the good of civilization. Sure! And why does this game happen then? Satisfied that all was well, I left the station to seek a new bounty to hunt. But I had hardly gone beyond the asteroid belt when I picked up a distress signal. Ceres station was under attack. No more. Yeah, the audio is bopping and I don't like that. Space station, also known as that word in German. Okay, here we are. We are Samus. I can shoot. And we have not much. I cannot do much. I can point up and down, which is gonna be the best that we have to deal with. Okay, if I hold them both, I can shoot straight up. I would prefer to change this button though. Can I jump with a... This is to run, technically. It wasn't the instruction. Yeah, let me change the buttons a second. Pum 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 para pum para pum 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 pum. Hello. So is this? I can try to adapt. Don't wanna mess up too much with the